Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. My name is Carrie, and the mess that I have in front of me is the makings of a medieval bridle. Now, I'm trying to match the one that goes with this saddle. There were two different ones. So I'm trying to make something like this bridle here. And so what I have here is these are Rio Rondo Iberian for the bit. I have some of their decorative Iberian buckles. I have a little bit of chain. This is the thinnest chain I own in silver because it really does seem very delicate. What it does have is these little thingies here. It has one right there on the noseband, and then it has another one here, and I will probably use this one for up here on the headband. I don't have any feathers yet, so I won't be able to do the feathers. And those are my side pieces. Now I did attempt to skive these. They're horrible. This is horrible leather for skiving. So I've made my attempt, and this is a tiny. See how tiny that hole is. So I will need to thin this, and so I'll probably take a little off there, flip it over. I just put in a brand new blade in. I would not do this with a dull blade. Okay. So then the next thing is I'd measure it to the model to see where I want the cheek piece to land. I'm pretty much going to need the whole thing there. So make sure we have a right and a left. Well, somebody's gonna look at this and tell me I got it on backwards. Every time I skive, I lose a little bit of length. Now, you'd only have to do that if you had a different bit. I mean, if you had this bit. If you have a different bit that's got a bigger hole, you wouldn't have to do that. Okay. But we're used to a buckle, so I would probably go ahead and do a headband with a buckle. It's just a matter of where are we going to put. Yes, cat? Okay, I had to deal with that cat attack. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I like to get the small pieces put where they need to go. This is already all right. So this I decided is going to be my brow band. This is the nose band. So we got a big old draft head. Okay, so from here, pretty much it's a bridle. Um, we're getting the noseband done, and it doesn't look like there's any keepers. The buckles themselves, because they're friction buckles, that back gold band, the back band would be the keeper. I'm not doing really long extra straps because it's really only going to fit one model. I'm not going to plan on it fitting any others. So, as you can see, there we go. Can't see it. Anyways, we got the noseband buckled, and now we need to figure out how we're going to attach the cheek straps, because this doesn't have a separate strap for the noseband. So we're going to put little loops on the sides. I'm using some skived 16th inch leather lace. You could probably use 3/32 because that's what I made for the pieces there, the cheek pieces. So you could probably do that. It'll match pretty well. And the whole idea is to just make a loop. And then there we go. Got rid of the extra. Same thing on the other side. A little bit of glue, little piece of 16th inch, fit it over the noseband, and then little glue. Okay, so that'll match the look of the picture. Now, double checking it on the model, constantly doing that, you'll notice. Now I'm going to put on these buckles. I want them to be just below where the brow band is going to be, and I'm going to want a really small crown piece. So they're even. See, I'm making sure that they're even. And I already kind of checked these on the model. Sorry you don't get the narration while I'm doing it. I went into assembly mode, and that way I can just focus on what I'm doing instead of doing the chit chat. And not only that, I can do a faster assembly, because if you've made a bridle before, none of this is really new. Okay, except maybe the loops for that noseband. I think I've showed it before though. All right, so again, checking it, making sure it's gonna work. Okay, I'm just checking where the bit is gonna sit. And those little pieces of paper, those are the sticky dots from Rio Rondo, and I was trying them out here to see if I liked them better than sticky wax. And so, I don't know. They seem one-time use. And if you're at a live show, one-time use ain't gonna work. But if you're photo showing, and they do seem a lot nicer for photo showing. And I probably could have cut those into quarters. Right here, I just fitting the brow band. I'm doing finger presses, so I know where to put that. Make sure I put it above the buckle. There we go. And same brow band process. Just go ahead and glue it in loops around. So now we're trying to put on the chain, and I'm assuming, looking at the picture, that this actually is the chain for the curb. It wouldn't make sense to have the chain and then also have what do you, a curb strap too. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be that. These Iberian, they have a little hole where you can put the chain. I use jump rings to make my life easier. Right now, I've got the model so that I get the chain the right length, so that it's not too long, not too short. It should lay up against the chin, right above the um, where there's a bump in the chin, and then it's right after that. So doing this with the needle on a stick opens it up just enough that I can get the jump ring in, because it's a very fine chain. If you have a wider chain, that's fine. For me, this is what worked. Now, because the chain is so fine and that hole, because just the way the bit is, I had to do a little bit of an overlap on the jump ring so the chain wouldn't come out of either the bit or the jump ring. So you can't really see it, but it's why I'm using 2 pliers. I can get a lot more leverage there. But when I close it up here, I'm also pushing it a little bit together, so there's a little bit of an overlap. And because the jump rings are so fine, you can't really see it. Okay, now I'm putting on the connector bar. So this wire is on an um, eye stick, or I'm not sure what they call it, but anyways, that is where you can in the findings. And I need to make a very similar loop on the other side. Takes some practice. Um, so you want the hole to be the same size as the other one, and you want that little it's centered, I guess, on the wire on the other side. Now you could do simple loop over, and that would work, but I kind of wanted this to be matching. And so once you get the hole, and then you kind of turn it in the other direction so that it's centered, and then you can get rid of the extra. So I had to make this a couple times because I made it too big the first time. But like I said, it takes a little bit of practice. That bar should be the muzzle distance from cheek, not from cheek to cheek, from jowl to jowl, or from lip to lip, I guess. If it's too big, the bit won't sit in place. All right, so now I have 2 pieces for reins. The reins pretty simple because the holes are small. I'm going to have to, thin the rein down a little bit so it's not 3/32, closer to 1/16, and just on the end, and then tuck that in, glue it over. And these are just simple 2-strap reins. You can do whatever rein endings you want to do, but this was a pretty simple way of doing it. Okay, just need to get those glued up. Okay, so last thing I need to do is the tassels, and I'll probably add some more studs to finish it off. But that's the assembly of the bridle. Rein ends, I could taper this. I could just put, my classic, that, or I could do a long taper. But I'm probably going to attach these and then do a tassel on the end, like the picture. See how it's connected, and then it's got the tassel on the end. That's probably what I'm going to do, is something similar to that. That looks like a very thick rope, and then the reins are attached, and then there's one tassel. So he's actually holding one something or other. But anyways, that's the assembly of the bridle. Thank you for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends about the channel. Have yourself a really good day.